Rahim here, brothers and sisters. Future News. Welcome. Again, brothers and sisters, standing challenge has been there for, I think, going on 2 years or more. And no one stepped up to take it, so they're aware of it. Why haven't they stepped up to take this challenge? It should be easy. They haven't because they're liars over there. And they're going to be outed by their own master. And they're going to be taken down in a few more days. Within 6 days, Farrakhan will no longer be troubling to the Nation of Islam. The son of addition is about to be cast down. The accuser of our people is about to be cast down. As soon as this war starts, when it hits, full stride, that means when, basically for practical purposes, for your base level of understanding, when Iran and false Israel gets into it, not trading jabs and things, no, full blast fight. And that could happen any time now. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Now, before I go further, I want to explain something. Because this is something I think people, I get feedback from different quarters and things, right? And that's how because when you're communicating, you know what you're saying, but that's why you have to have an audience. So you have to feel the audience, find the audience reacting, because then you know that you're on the same wavelength as them. Because you have to be on the wavelength as your audience, right? If you have to get on their wavelength, so you got to be able to get on their wavelength to bring them up to your wavelength. Because if you can't communicate with them, right? So you got to be on two wavelengths. You got to connect with them and be able to lift them up to your wavelength, if that's what your purpose of doing, right? And so, and how I know when I reach their wavelength, right? Their reaction. Once I get their wavelength, get a reaction, now I can move them up to a different frequency, a different wavelength. But at first I had to be able to communicate with them. People understand that. They're just talking. They understand that it's not themselves they're talking to. They're communicating with, right? If a person can't hear you, if they can't hear you, then what's the point in talking to them? And they can't hear you if you're on the same frequency and wavelength they are. And that's the problem. That's the problem. All problems the mission has. Problem lies in my head. Because, you want to match from Muhammad, same problem. You on the highest wavelength, and here you can hear, and you're trying to get the other person to hear, but they can't hear anything. And you you can holler and scream all you want to, they can't hear. You got to get down and touch them and everything, get their attention. You see what I'm saying? So you have to get on their wavelength, and that's the problem. And a lot of people don't want to do that. I'm for one. I got to reduce myself, but that's what their job is. That's what a prophet and mission has to do. They have to get on the wavelength of the people. Not become on the same level as they are, but communication, right? Sometimes I have to act like the people. They have to dress and talk like the people so they can get their attention, right? See? And then you accuse them, man, well, you doing that. See, it's difficult. It's not easy doing this job. But you got to be able to communicate with the people and then lift them up. See? Master Muhammad, he didn't come in full. Full. He came in, he called himself, he says he's my uncle, and he came himself on the level of the people. He had to learn the language and everything of the people here. Right? You think he want to learn English? He had to learn those things so that he'd be able to communicate. Because he come every time I speak Arabic, who's going to pay attention to him? Okay, he's talking. He may be saying some wise things, but you don't know what the hell he's saying. So now he's got to go and learn the language. How long did it take him to do that? Learn the language, right? and be able to interact with the people. You can't walk around here all stuck up there. I'm the God. You know. See what I'm saying? It's not easy anyway, and particularly for me, right? Because I'm not some above anybody. It's just like I said, I had to reinvent myself. See, because before the injury, I had no patience with anybody. Man. I mean, I said, look, 5 plus 7 is 12. That, I didn't get that. I mean, I couldn't understand what the issue was. I mean, that's simple. I found my people that say they understand simple things because everything was made complicated for them. It's like my granddaughter, you know, when that COVID came, she was staying with me for a while, right? And she was working from home from school. And I'm a mathematician, right? And I'm looking at her homework. I mean, the work she's communicating online, and she was doing some kind of algebra or something, right? And she was having problems with it. And I looked at it and I said, "Damn, I was having a problem with it. The way the teacher was teaching it, because they don't teach your children like they teach their children. I'm telling you that right off. Whether you believe it or not, it's true." And I'm saying, I looked at it, I looked about a while, I said, "Hey, hold it." You know, because she's trying to, I said, you know, because, you know, it's a kind of algebra problem, but, you know, you got to say, like 5 times 3 plus 8 divided by 12. See, well, you got to know which one, what they're talking about. I say 5 times 5 divided by 3. Are you saying 5 divided by 3 times, or how do you say that? See, because you got to figure out, I said, hold it. See, I said, don't you teach you how to put brackets around these things? So I showed her how to put brackets around it, then boom, snap. Easy problem. I said, don't tell a teacher you know how to do this. Because then they're going to find a way to make it dumb you down again. Because they don't teach the same way. I can show them how a simple way to do it. I can show people a simple way to do calculus. Calculus is nowhere near as complicated as they're telling you. Nowhere near as complicated as what they're telling you in school. I can prove it to you. All that stuff is not as complicated as they make it you, because they don't want you to be averse to it. Oh man, it's too difficult. They move on, brown sisters. Okay. Well, I want to talk about this. This is not my main subject, but I figure I need to address this because, like I said, somebody came to my attention, and like I said, I have to work on this because I'm saying something that seemed obvious, and people, I know it's people, they don't look into it and try to understand it, and I got to go and break it down to, you know, to the fundamental level, and that's hard for me because I'm saying, like, you should have got that. Right. Okay, let's look at this. On the left is the female and the right is the male, right? And what I'm saying here is that you see in the center there, that's your needs. That's how much energy you need. So both have the same amount of energy. See, on the outside, that's the energy you have. But how much you need and how much you have left over. So what, in a sense, how much you need. That's how much you need. And the outside is what you got left over. Both have the same amount of energy. The male and the female. But the female requires less energy than the male. You might think the female's body is more complex, but no, the female's body is less complex. She requires less energy, plus she's smaller compared to a male. I mean, you go in a family and you see a man, he has daughters and sons. And the sons are 6 feet tall and his daughters are 5 feet tall. Because women are traditionally smaller, there's less complex bodies. You might think it's more complex, but it's less. Because remember, she can't produce X and Y chromosome. The male can produce both. He has more complicated situation. She has more energy left over than the man does. But they're both equal in energy. Like the devil itself. The devil has even more energy because he needs less needs. But I'm not going to talk about him right now. I'm talking about the male and the female. You understand? So that situation, so they have both. But the problem is, right, it comes in discipline. Because you got to turn that energy into power. And that's what See, women have an advantage because they have more energy to work with. That's the advantage they have. The disadvantage is they have less discipline than the male because they're more emotional. See? So that means they got to work a little hard. It's like you go to the gym and you want to lift. The female's got to work a little harder to lift the same much as the male, but she can do it if she applies to it. But if he's dedicated, she's dedicated. She's never gonna catch up with him now on that. But like, he's never gonna catch up with her on beauty either. You understand? Because that's her main attribute. His attribute is strength. So it's more complicated. You see what I'm saying? So the problem is when I say they're equal, they're equal in energy. The devil's also equal to us energy, right? See? But the point is that she has an advantage and more energy. If she applies same as the discipline as a male, she's gonna be more powerful than him. If she can do that, but she normally don't because, like I said, she tends to be more emotional, and it's a little hard for her to, like I said, she can lift as much as a man, but she got to work harder to get to that level. But she can do it. So the next level here. So let's go next. Come on, what's happening here? Uh-oh, am I freezing up over there? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, looks like I'm not getting any. Hold on. Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. What's happening here? So I was freezing up on my. That's interesting. Anyway, I think I'm okay. So, where's my? Okay, here you go. And see, this is represented. See, the male is darker. The darker is more power. See, so he's turned and even though he has less energy to work with, he has more discipline, so he has more power. Just darker is more power. She turned into power, but not as much. See, but she can turn into that, but she has to work a little harder because she's tend to be more emotional. Hope you understand it, brothers and sisters. So I go in more detail to explain that. Because the female, she just can't say, well, I'm equal. Yeah, you're equal in energy. Yeah, it's not about that. But are you equal in power? Are you studying? Are you developing your brain? You got your mind. You upgrade. Keep your mind upgraded. Are you doing these things? See? Because the male is doing, you ain't doing it. Because if the male is not doing it, you're gonna be more powerful. Because you got females out here that's wise or smarter than a lot of males. It's not like a situation where you say every female is lower than every no matter how. Because the way you students have it is that the wisest female, the most powerful female, is lower than the weakest male, and that's obviously not right. But that's the way they cast it out in Sunni land. And that's what used to cast out in Christian land, and they still do it to some extent. Because if they say the female is inferior, that means the most powerful, the most weakest male is more powerful than the most powerful female. Well, that's not right. It's like the dumbest man is smarter than a chimpanzee, right? You understand? Hope you understand that, brothers and sisters. Let me move on. Okay, I'm going to reiterate what I said yesterday, brothers and sisters. And I missed a couple of things. I got distracted because I was seeing my buffering. So I'm going to get back to that again. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to get to the second part again, right? And I'm kind of like doing because, the broadcast today, Sunday, the 13th, is delayed for some reason. So I figured I'd go ahead and get a head start here. Right? I've had some trouble the last few days with my system, so let me just proceed. Right? Now, there's 3 companions you see in Daniel. Now, you don't particularly see any place else in the Bible I'm aware of. 3 companions. They say, why have 3 companions? Why? What's the point of it? They don't seem to do anything. But then you get into the idea of, and that idea is really not made concrete in the Bible, that we're a body. We're not like a body, we are a body. But the Christians do call it the body of Christ, but I don't think they really understand what that really means. But we are a body. That's why they say mankind's a single nation. That's what the scriptures, when they say a nation, they mean a body. That's their way of saying a body. We're a body. See? You have brain cells. That's the scientists. The primary brain cell that drives it, the will, that's the 25th scientist. Because you got the brain, but you got the will on the brain. That's the core cell that drives the rest of it. But that's the brain that operates, controls the body. The brain controls the whole body. I heard someone say, well, the brain controls organs, the organ controls the body. No, the brain controls the whole body. Because the nerves go from the brain to, right? See? But they're a subset of the other, right, other organs. That's why I don't think people really understand. You know, you don't have to. I mean, it's up to you. You want to be gods. Nobody's going to force you to be a god. Nobody's going to force you to do it. Right? So you got the three. So I looked at it and I said, I'm not going to commit to anything here. I'm just giving you an idea here. See, you got three main organs. Some people might disagree with that. We got three main organs. You got the heart, the circulatory system. Got the lungs, right? And you got the digestive system. Those are three primary systems you have in the body. All other systems are subsets of these systems to some extent. Right? And so that's why they said there are three companions. So if you say the body, you got Daniel. Daniel is the brain. He's part of the brain. He's the main brain cell. Remember, he's the one that figures out stuff nobody's can figure out. He's the one that breaks down Tekel and all, and breaks down stuff from Nebuchadnezzar and Tekel. Right? He's the brain. Then you got the circulatory system. See? So that's the three. I'm saying, I'm not committing anything here. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm going to get into that's a whole nother presentation, get to the depths of this. I'm giving you an idea. I'm trying to give you a full comprehensive view of what's going on here. So when the brain formed, I was trying to explain how when a woman should understand this, right? When the embryo starts forming, the brain forms first. And then brains, and then the three main organs come, right? Brain forms first, and then it brings the other three into behind it, because it supplies the blueprint, right, for the other organs, because it's in the DNA. See, it's all weird. DNA is your real language. I don't want to go into it's your real name, right? So you get your DNA from your father, right? The sperm, that's DNA. It's a chemistry, some kind of chemistry. I'm not going into detail, right? And it has the codes. It tells you what structure, how to build. It's blueprints, like a code. It says, okay, this is how you do this. This is how you build. And so it starts like a crystal starts. The brain forms, right? And then the brain information in the brain, right? It takes and forms these are the organs, and it keeps on going till the whole body's complete. Now, if there's a defect in that DNA, the brain's going to be defective. If it's defective in the brain, then these organs will be defective. Then the child come out deformed or messed up or whatever. But it's formed is messed up, right? See, that's why the DNA first has to be perfect. See, it has to be perfect. See, DNA just gives you structure. See, and DNA change over time to conform to the change of reality. It's the scripture. The DNA for right now, right? It's the angel. I'm talking loosely now, bro. It says loosely now. See? So it says right? The sperm comes in with. Okay, you got the sperm. You got that's the DNA, and in it the code of the DNA. Put that away. The code of it. Because we all got DNA, but the code is different, all of us. Right? And the thing is, okay, now you got how to form the body, okay? We're talking about individually. I'm talking about as a body concerned, because you have the same process. But the DNA for the body, the DNA for our personal, right? That's the DNA personally, right? I'm kind of, I have to stop, man. I keep jumping the gun here, bro, because I'm assuming you know certain things. Okay. The body itself, that's DNA. Personally. But the body, for us as our personal body, as a body as a nation, the DNA is the scripture. Right now, the DNA for our body is the angel. DNA for the body 1,500 years ago was the Quran. DNA for the body now is the angel. See, that's the code we need to pull everything together. You understand? That's the DNA for the overall body, the nation. Now, because that changes. Our DNA, we don't have the same DNA. Our DNA structure is not the same it was being years ago because everything is different now. Right? I don't want to spend time with that, brother. I hope you understand that. So they ain't like that. That's what it is. So the body's being formed. It says Suleiman, he'd be the first amongst the dead ones because he's the first one got that he's got the DNA to bring the body together. You understand? Our general body. You understand? That's the DNA for that. Because we built for our personal body, we built in the sperm's built in, and that's how we get formed. But for the general body, that's the scripture. And that's why angels are so precise and everything else. Right? A nation body put that away. And then the lungs. And digestive. That's why you got. I'm saying. That's why we got the three. Because first he would go, and then he'd form, and then they bring him to existence. See, and then they develop and bring the rest into existence. See, but the brain still controls the whole thing. It's still driving the process because it's got to make sure they stay straight. Because the brain keeps editing. Because if they get out of order, it's got to stop them. And either correct it or get rid of them and replace it. Otherwise, that defect is going to get worse and worse and worse down the line. After a while, the body's forming, it's too late. Then the body comes out the womb and it's too late. It's got 3 arms or whatever. It's too late then. So you got to constantly keep monitoring it to make sure there's no defects there. But you got to have no defects too. And the DNA, the angel can't have any defects. It's perfect because that's the DNA. And that's what's being used to form this body. And so you passing that DNA down to these, and they got to pass the DNA down to the rest. If they start messing around with that, if you give them the scripture perfectly, and they start twisting and distorting it, then the next group goes in, the ones they produce could be distorted. We had that problem, a little cancer. This person was here, and they were putting stuff in, adding stuff, and all this kind of stuff, right? Had to get rid of them. Okay. I understand, brothers and sisters. Let me check something here right quick. Okay, I hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Okay, well, I want to get into this. This is another problem here. Let's see. I don't think anybody understands this one either. Consequence atmosphere. See, you got atmospheres. You got 3 atmospheres, basic atmospheres, right? Water's the atmosphere. The ocean's their atmosphere. I mean, that's the atmosphere for the fish and stuff that live in here. I mean, they breathe that stuff. They got gills that pull oxygen out of the water, but they breathe. They can live underwater and breathe it, right? And that's water's basically molecules. Molecules and atoms arranged together, right? And then you got another atmosphere, which is the air we breathe. That's atoms. Because like water is H2O, that means you combine a hydrogen atom with oxygen atom and you get water. H2O. Two hydrogen atoms to one oxygen atom. Right? But air is just oxygen, it's just atoms. Primarily, but it has other atoms too, nitrogen stuff. But primarily it's oxygen. Right? Oxygen is also fire. But that's just another story. Right? And then, right? Remember, molecules are made of atoms, right? What's atoms made of? Energy. Then you got the energy atmosphere. Just energy. See? It's everywhere. And the most fundamental principle of energy, that's what energy is. Energy is action, reaction. Every action is opposite equal reaction. That's what energy is, period. It's mathematics. It's just action, reaction. It's nothing more to it. Action, reaction, period. Consequence. See, that's atmosphere. That's what atoms are made of, and atoms and molecules, and water is made of molecules made of atoms, atoms made of energy. Energy is just matter, right? That's so consequence, right? That's just, you understand what I'm saying? Them's the atmospheres. And consequences, reaction to anything, just energy, and we're energy. Everything is energy. Now, the thing is that water, all the water on the planet has passed through us at one time or another. We recycle all of it. All of it has been cycled through us. All of it was urine at one time. It's cleaned up. Oxygen also. We breathe oxygen, produce that carbon dioxide, and all the air that you see was carbon dioxide at one time. It got recycled, and we can breathe it. All it comes through us. And the point I'm trying to make here is that we're connected to all this, and all of it comes from us. And like I explained this earlier, so people don't understand. I explained it for years ago. I said the atmosphere is a reflection of our emotions. Yes. It's reflecting our emotion. People say, no, emotion is good. It's this undisciplined emotion that you got a problem with. See, our sisters, we want to have emotion. Because, they need emotion to deal with the little babies. Our little babies and stuff like that, right? We want discipline, though. We don't want them to be emotional. Because, like, bust, man, stop that baby crying, man. You shut up over there. I'm trying to get some sleep. Yeah, we are. Don't tell me you ain't like that, because I know you'll be like that. You got to get over that, right? And the thing is that when we get home, right, the sisters won't have to worry about that kind of stuff, because right now, see, you got to understand. Everything in the universe, all the biology is service to us. We put this thing in existence. The bees, they serve us. They pollinate things. That's one of the things they do. We should do ourselves internally, but now they're our servants. We got more complicated servants. It's like we got lions. They go out there and keep the population out, keep the animals from getting out of control. Right? They keep coloring them to make sure you don't get too many animals out there, because then they're wild out there will be attacking us. You got all these animals that have a certain purpose. Birds, right? Flies. They eat all dead stuff and make sure we don't that stuff be laying around and cause disease and stuff. All these things have a purpose. Right? So we build more complicated. And at the end, we make the most complicated being. That's mankind. That's why the Bible calls a beast that will speak to us. Because they are beasts, but they're speaking beasts, so they communicate, but they're the bridge between us and the animals. And they respond behind that, but they're also our servants. We can speak to them. We can't speak to the giraffes and the lion. We can speak to them. And they can speak to them. That closely out with but dogs and stuff, they can speak to them. They can relate to them. They're going to be able to do it better when we home. You understand? So the sisters will have servants, loyal, Perfect service that won't give no static at all. See, that's a whole nother story. I'm going to talk about that in more detail another time. Because they thought they was making service out of us, but they was actually making service out of themselves. See? So it's just to be freed up for more beauty, more beautify themselves, more discipline, everything else. Because they have to do all this stuff now. They'll change, baby, all that kind of stuff right there. They'll do all that stuff because that's part of the energy deprivation. We're serving the fields. Everybody had their basic stuff. But now they're going to have service that was going to do all those things for them. See, that's another story. I'll move on. I didn't really mean to get into that. See, everything's going to change. And they're not going to have a problem with that because these servants are going to be totally loyal, going to do everything exactly right. Let me move on. Make sure I'm not getting any issues here. Toy servants. That's going to take care of 90% of what this is have to take care of now. They're going to take care of cooking and everything. Because they're going to be gods now. And they have a whole host of servants take everything for them. See? So now they can be the goddesses. But they got to achieve that power. Anyway, let's move on. So understand that? So that's how we can, because we can, right now, right? We're controlling these things right now. Okay. Let me see if I put this here. See what I did here. Okay, no, I didn't. Okay, previous. Okay, let's look at it this way. We're bringing a new reality. Remember, weather is currents. In the water, your currents, waves is currents. If there's no current, there's no waves. I mean, just water just sits there. Air, if there's no currents, there's no breeze, anything. They're all currents. Consequences, current. Positive or negative. It's a current. These are currents. You understand? Okay. So, you have a reality here. I mean, okay, you got this. Say for everybody's thinking the same way, right? Because when you have a brainwaves, right? Thinking you don't have any current. You don't have a current because everybody's going the same direction. No current. But if somebody starts thinking differently, now you got a current. You understand? Because you got one level of power here, a different level of power here, one level of energy here. You know what I'm saying? One pressure here. It's a different pressure differential. Put that away. Just refer to also. Let's look at it as a pressure. If you have a pressure differential, then that's why you have a current. Like sometimes you open a window on one side of the house. On one side of the house, if the pressure's high on one side, it's like you get a breeze. You understand? You get a breeze because you got a pressure differential. So you have a thought differential, right? Thought differential that's affecting the consequence, the atmosphere. Because everything affects that. Thought, everything takes energy, everything. So any thought affects energy. Any thought affects energy. Any action, whatever, it affects, and it takes energy to do it. So if you think differently than someone else, you're going to have an energy differential there. You have a pressure differential there. Energy differential. That means you have a current. And the greater the difference, the greater the current. You understand, brothers and sisters? So what's happening is that the devil's everybody think on the same wavelength, same frequency. So, okay, well, it was fine because remember the thought atmosphere, consequence, everything was on the same level. See what I'm saying? And then Mass Brahma shows up and says, okay, Okay, now you got to start a pressure differential because he's thinking differently. He's going to a whole different reality. So then you started. Right. You're changing. Remember? Okay. We call it. See, no, when it's in the air, we call it weather. When it's a sea, call it something else, right? But it's all. We say all this weather. I mean, I'm trying to, because the English language doesn't qualify because first of all, you have to have it, like the word gravity didn't exist before they figured out didn't realize by gravity. See what I'm saying? So therefore, now you got to add stuff to language to try to explain what you're talking about. So I'm just saying, you got weather. Okay, just put it this way: weather is a pressure differential. The greater tornadoes, hurricanes, the greater differential, the greater it is, and that comes from right energy, changing. Energy differential. So your thought, actions, right? And thought is the most powerful force in the universe, right? I mean, the quality force, not I have to qualify these things, brothers and sisters. So what I'm saying is that you start thinking differently. Remember, and consequence is reaction to everything. Consequence, everything. Consequence is everything. So if you start thinking different, there can be a consequence to that, right? And that could show up in the atmosphere, in the air atmosphere, right? It's going to show up in the consequence atmosphere, but it's going to show up in the air atmosphere too. And the grade is, so therefore right now, you got Suleiman, he's coming with it's so different. It's so the difference is so different that it's causing a current. And that current is showing up on every level. Because it does show up on every level. The point is it doesn't show up as much in water because the water is much denser, but it shows up more in the consequence. It shows up exactly in the consequence. On the consequence level, but it shows up more on the air level than it does on the water level, but it shows absolutely quickly in the consequence level because it's absolute and it's fast, right? And that's what the universe is made of. That's how we control it. So right now, because you see, where's all this adverse weather coming from? See? It's coming because you got a new reality coming in, and that's causing a current change. And when the reality comes in, the greater current change is going to be. That means the worse the weather is going to be. That's why I don't go every time for watch the weather. Watch the weather for what? What's the purpose of watching it? Okay, you watch it. Watch the flood. I mean, what you going to do? Should be doing something about it. But he don't tell people, hey man, watch the weather. And this is what you're going to be doing because he don't know what they're talking about. You tell about, okay, I'm just going to watch the weather. Or tell them, okay, no, I say, y'all watch the flood. Yeah, and that'd be your last thing you be watching too, right? When you go, oh. She's stupid. You know what I'm saying? So you control the weather. And as our people wake up, like I told you in tribulation, the weather's going to be totally off the page. Because there's going to be a pressure differential go so great. Because the reality is coming in. And this reality is coming. Because once this reality comes in, the weather's going to calm down again. Because everybody's on the same page. The weather's going to be beautiful in the hereafter. Because there's only going to be one religion, mathematical religion. Everybody's going to be on the same page. It's going to be harsh. So the weather's going to be perfect. But right now, the weather's more disastrous because you got the two conflicting. You're building a current. Understand, brothers and sisters? We are controlling it. And you're the ones causing it because and it's going to affect the lowest pressure. The lower pressure is going to be affected by the weather because you're the one, the current. The current, which way the current flies, which way the current goes. It goes from high pressure to low pressure. So they're affected more by it than you, because you're creating it. And as our people wake up, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Because, you understand? That's why Elijah Muhammad said that's one of God's weapons, the weather. Because angels coming up, that's a whole new thing, level of thoughts. It's so much different. Farrakhan ain't producing anything. He's saying what they're saying. So there's no pressure differential there. You're talking about watch the weather. He's not creating any weather change because he got the same level as they are. But the angel is totally a much higher level. So that information coming out is high thought, higher action. So it's creating a pressure differential. That pressure differential is weather. And whether you call it weather in the air, or weather in the water, or weather, it's like I said, the language. So we just say it's weather on all levels. Consequence, disasters. See, or if on the air level, it's going to be hurricanes and tornadoes. If it's on the consequence level, right, it's got GPS. So it's going to be, right, natural disasters. It could be plagues, right? You see what I'm saying? On that level. On the water level, it'd be tidal waves, floods. Depends on what level it manifests. But the currents are affecting all these levels. And that's why America, they've got floods, they have all this kind of stuff, right? Because the pressure waves, the new reality is coming in, and Suleiman's the one bringing new reality in. So he's the one that's directing it. That's why it says, I think that's less. Don't quote me on this, because I think it says, it said the Son of Man is in the center of earth, experiment with high explosives. I think that's what he says. What causing the weather? Don't hold me on that. I gotta go back and check that. I believe that's what it says. What's more high? High explosive means you got a pressure differential. You got a high explosive and low explosive, and that's what the lesson is saying to you. It says Son of Man was doing it. Experiment high means you learn it. Experiment means you learn it. You're getting more information, right? That's why he's high explosive. It's high power against low power. That means you're gonna have a pressure explosion. Means things exploding out. That means you change the reality around you. You understand, brothers and sisters? That's what the lesson says. I can go check it. See? So what caused weather and earthquakes? I guess with something like this, that effect. So Son of Man's in the center of earth, America, experiment with high explosives. That's how we control. You're controlling it now, brothers and sisters. And as you get study more, and you get the angel, right? Not sealed by, because that's the one that's low pressure. You create a greater pressure differential. That currents, and so currents is manifest itself in the water. That'd be tidal waves, floods, and all that kind of stuff. Manifests itself in the air. That's hurricanes and tornadoes and all that kind of stuff. It manifests itself in the energy level. That means disasters, accidents, right? Disease, plagues. See? You understand? Okay, I hope that I explained that, because someone said they didn't understand how to control the weather. Well, I didn't explain it like this before, but I have explained in the past. Okay, here you go. This is in the air atmosphere, right? Same thing, but like this, right? But this is in the water level. This is a pressure differential. Okay? Let's move to the next one. Okay. Now, the mathematical submission, the one thing that I was talking about yesterday that I missed. I remember I was buffering over there. I kind of like let it get past me. Also, my children. Now, I was showing how, right, when you energy deprivation, you get to a situation where you invest $100, only get $10 back. But you need $10, right? You need $10 to maintain yourself. That's absolutely. I need $10 to maintain my life. I need that. I need that much food. But you got to work 10 times as hard to get it. See, or maybe 100 times hard, like we didn't, right? To eat, because they had control, because they had more energy to work with. They had control of the food and everything. And so, if we wanted it, we had to work 10 times harder to get enough food just to maintain ourselves. That's hard cost. And the point is that they would say, okay, well, if you want it, and then not only that, they would make us work too hard. But then they abuse and beat us up and everything else. So that's what they're being judged for. Because we're supposed to serve them, but they went and afflicted us. That's another story. But the part I missed about this is I'm saying that nowadays, right, we have enough energy. We don't work as hard, but they still got control of the food. So they still make us still work 10 times harder to get the food. So the energy that we have, we have it comes in other forms. But as far as work with them, we still got to work 10 times hard to get the food that we need to survive. That's why I said we got to get out of here, because they control the quality. They still have power enough to control the quality. You understand? So instead of, like, say for instance, we had to work 10 times hard, and we didn't have no family, we have no home or nothing, right? So now we got enough energy to have those things, but we still got to work 10 times hard, because now we got extra more energy, but we're still under their control, so it still makes 10 times hard, but now we got those other things too, because now we got more energy now, but it takes that form. So now we got a wife, right? Or we got a husband, or we may have children, or, they may be rebellious, but then we have things we didn't have before. But we're still, as far as getting that food that we need, we still got to work 10 times hard to get it. As long as we stay with them, because that's the way they're set up. You understand? See, so we got more energy. We're still going to get it, just come in different form. But they controlling the form. You understand what I'm saying? They controlling the quality. That's why we're trying to get out of here. So what does that mean as far as our children are concerned? Okay, the point is that you have needs and wants, and I said you have to, because of your need to have food, then you have to do work. But if you say, man, look, I ain't gonna do that, man. I'm not gonna work 10 times hard to get that. But then you're gonna starve, and you're gonna die. Now you ain't. That's what Haitians did. They got rid of master. They got rid of the person producing the food. Now they're starving over there, because the devils have control of the food. They have enough energy to control the food. They have enough energy to control the quality. See, when Adam put in rule, he was in rule because he'd have charge of quality. He didn't have charge. None of us have charge of quality. God, nobody. Because they have more energy, more power, they control the quality of the world. That's where their rulership is. You understand? So that's what we went. So they control. So we had to work 10 times. 10 times harder, or 100 times. Right? That's they made us work in the fields and 24/7 and whatever. Right? 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and they fed us shit. I'm talking about the symbiotic relationship, because that's the way they are. So now we got more energy. That would say we leave out great substance. That means we have the substance, but they control it, so we don't see it. See? But then what happened is, but remember they have a different matrix. See? Because we work to get $10, we have to put $100 worth of energy in to get $10 worth of energy, which is food, because they have to get that form. We have it, but what's going to have $1 million? There's no food. I got $1 million, there's no food, you're going to die. You understand the concept? So therefore you say, okay, and I got to work. I got to spend 100. I can work 100, spend 100 calories to get enough for 10 calories. Now you're going backwards. Not only now you're alive, but you're dying. You're working yourself to death. Because how can you can't, your body's going to age quick. Because if you got to spend 100 calories to get 10, you survive, but you're wearing your body out. You understand? It's a lose-lose, because we call it lose-lose, but you're still alive, but you're wearing yourself, you get old fast and everything else, because you need you spend 100 calories to get 10. That's the situation we're in. That's what the average slave back there, man, they lived 30, 40 years old. They was dead. They worked themselves to death. You understand? See? So that's the situation we're in, to save out, to survive, to get through this. So they told us submit. Right? And so you survive, you just protect your seed. That's all. That's our mission. Just protect the seed. You're going to suffer, but protect the seed. Because afterwards, you're going to be intact. You're going to be raised to a God, and then you're going to have power over everything. But you got to go through this. And it's going to 40 years, you're going to go through it. That's why it says he had a vision of horror. That's a horrible situation. All the other nations, I don't want to do that, man. I can't. I can't do that. It's too hard. So they reduced the calculation down instead of, okay, I got to work 100 hours to get, I got to use 100 calories to get 10 calories. They said, well, I only got to do 50, or maybe I only got 10. See what I'm saying? They still had some energy deprivation too, but not to the extent we did. But we suffered total. We took the whole blunt. See? You understand, brothers and sisters? So now we're in a situation right now where we have enough energy, but they still control it. So they still put in that situation. So people getting diabetes and everything else. That's why a lot of hungry kids eat 1 meal a day. Try to get past all of that stuff as much as possible until we get the hell out of here. You understand? Try to conserve your energy so you don't use as much. Right? Because it's still having this effect on us. We still got to work 10 times as hard. But the devils don't have that problem. Because, right? They invest $10 and they invest $100, they get $500 back. So they sit around and don't do anything. And I remember when I had my business contracting business, actually, I'm getting sidetracked here. But see, this guy, he's a CEO, right? And he's running his corporation. He's making $1 million a day. Is he working many times harder than you? Hell no. Because they have a different matrix. Remember, they was made as low in it. They was made to their Volkswagen Beetles, who require less maintenance than Lamborghini, who we are. So they have more energy to spare. So therefore, they go out and we invest $100, we get $10 back. They invest $100, we get $10,000 back. And so we looking at that and say, man, look at that. So we want to be like that. So we try to go that way, and then we starve to death. So I ain't work as hard, man. Look, he ain't doing anything. I'm gonna be like him. Okay, then you're gonna starve to death because you got to put 100 hours. You got to spend 100 calories to get 10 calories. You got to do it. That's the way you are. That's your nature, your situation right now. It's not nature, their situation. And demons have the same thing they have. So demons, they're doing good. They're out there investing, they're getting proper, they're getting famous, they're making money, they got $1 million, Oprah and all those folks, because they're demons. They're like the devils. And then that's the danger, because you're trying to be like them. And that's how that's another way they found it. They studied us for 40 years, brothers and sisters. That's another way trying to attack us. Because what it's doing, they all of a sudden after the 60s, they didn't give a damn before the 60s, right? After 60s, all of a sudden, with Cosby and all this bullshit that came on TV and Dynamite and all these stupid ass movies, right? And the whole idea was, hey man, you could be all you could be, man. You just go out and do this and do that, right? And so all our kids got the idea was, I'm not go out there, man. I'm not go out there and bust my ass. I'm not going to go out there and bust my ass work. Spend 100 calories, get 10 calories. But that's the way. That's the nature of the game. So it's not what I'm doing. So therefore now, our children are failures. They run back home to mama. They're in prison. They're dead or hungry, whatever. Homeless. See, because they teach them to go after what they want. In this situation, this is a time of need. So if you go after your want, then you're going to neglect your needs. That means you're going to starve to death. And that's how children talk to them. They're talking what they want. Always saying what they want. Well, what's your plan? They don't have any. They just want, I want this. They go to college, take this course because they want to be Bill Cosby. They want to be Denzel Washington. So they want to be like the demons. It don't happen. Or they don't want to be Magic Johnson. See what I'm saying? All those people are demons. And that's what's deceiving our people. And that's what's destroying our youth, especially the males. They walk around with braids. That's a whole nother issue right there, because they put them in control of the women. And I'm not putting the women down. Women cannot raise a man. It's not going to happen. How can she teach him to be something she ain't, unless she a man herself? How can a dog raise a cat? It's going to raise the cat to be a dog. So the dog cat's never going to be happy because it's going to be other than itself. Has the devil taught us to be righteous? Has the devil taught us to be righteous? No, he taught us to be wicked, stupid, like even well, like they are. And some of us learned the lesson very well. We've been here. Have they taught us to be righteous people? Have they lift us up? No, they taught us to be wicked and liars like they are. Because how's it going to teach? They don't know anything else. So a woman, how's she going to teach a man to be a man? She don't know how to be a man unless she is a man. So she's going to teach him from a woman's perspective. What perspective she going to teach him from? So now they walking around braids, got their hairs hanging out. Is that advertisement? If you're advertising your ass, why you got your pants hanging? If you're advertising, because some of them are. Slippers on. Some of them talking like if it's all broke. You mean? See? Because they put the man, ran him out of the house and put under woman's influence, and they know that's what she's going to do. Bless her heart. What is she going to do? What's she going to do? She ain't trying to hurt the child. But she's doing the best she can, because the only thing she can teach him is from her perspective. How is she going to teach anybody about her perspective? And she's going to ruin him, because now he's going to grow up with the female perspective. He'll tend to be more emotional. We got these gang members killing each other and everything else, but a lot of them are demons. Because how is she going to teach them? Wearing braids? All of them got braids now. See, that's the big thing. I'm going to have somebody else. What's the point of that? Got pants hanging down, got the ass hanging out. You advertising your ass? Some of them are. Why would you do that? It's not intelligent. It's not disciplined. No discipline at all. And that's why a lot of them undisciplined, because a lot of females are very undisciplined because the devil taught they never taught me discipline. Now females, they have to, right? They have to learn disciplines like the males do. But like I say, females are less disciplined than males by nature because they're more emotional. And we want it. We want that. We want disciplined emotion, not just off the page. See what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? So therefore, and you can rationalize it because they don't understand what's going on. Man, why should I go and put 1,000 calories in a man should get 100? I mean, that makes sense, right? Who would do that? You see? But if you know a flood is coming, then why do you have to build an ark, man? You may so know it. Why you, man? We inland, ain't no ocean or water around nowhere. We in the desert. Why are you gonna build an ark in the desert? I don't make no damn. We're gonna spend 800. We're gonna spend years, hundreds of years building a damn ark. Why you waste your time doing that? I ain't gonna do that. You see what I'm saying? Because it's time to build an ark. That's what time it is. And so, then when the flood comes in, mows around that person that said, "Hey man, I ain't building that. He's dead." So the time. That's why nobody's told you about energy deprivation before me. Nobody tell me these things. So when you understand the time of energy deprivation, you have a whole different idea. Because I got to do things this way. I gotta submit to Adam. I got to go along with this program. I can't be like the Haitians because I'm going to starve. The master's gone. But now look, what we got nothing. We poor. We diseased. We hungry. The master's gone. You see? I ain't submitting the master no more. See what I'm saying? You have to understand the time. That's why scriptures come and give you this time. And the sealed Bible tells us, no, submit. Submit to master. Because that's what time. Because what your mission is to preserve your seed. Just hold on to it. It's going to take you 400 years to do it. But once you come out, that seed is preserved. Because everybody else gave up everybody else gave some of their, gave up their DNA. They gave some of it. Let the DNA get weak. Like the Arabs. They used to be black now. Get white. Some of them didn't turn white. Everybody gave up. You see? But we maintain all of it, made it strong as possible. So we come out, right? Then we're going to have the most discipline, and we got all the DNA. So now we're the gods, we're the kings. And now they're angels. You better look at the angel key again. The Shia also, they're not going to be gods. They're angels. I said Michael and his angels. They're going to be angels. The Levites, angels. See? The angels. The gods. See? And then you got the angels and you got the servants. Angels are not going to be servants. They're servants in a sense, but they not mean like slaves or anything out there, because they will have servants too. Right? There's on a lower level than the gods. Because we was angels before. They won't have, I don't want to go into detail about it, but you understand what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? They won't be gods, they'll be angels. Right? But they have servants too. Because the devils, right? They're gonna be servants. Everlasting servants. And then you got the animals. They're the bridge between us and them. They're the cooking and slaughtering animals and all that stuff. We won't be doing them. Sis won't be doing that anymore. Sis be telling them what to do. Directions. And they're going to follow directions. Exactly. We know how to handle that. Understand, but that's the problem we have our youth out there, especially the males. Lack of knowledge. Because right now I said, man, I ain't going to work, man. The man want me to go out there and work 40 hours a week, man. He only want to pay me, man, $5 an hour. Okay, so no. So now you're homeless, you ain't working, but you ain't got any food either, do you? Mm-hmm. So that's the time, but we coming out of that time now. But the point is, coming out of time, since 2020, but we're still in it because they still control the quality of the food. So we're still going through that, even though we get other things working for us, but still, because that's why I got to get away from them. Once you get away from them, then we control our energy. Because right now, I said we said we leave here, we leave out with race substance. That means we have it now, but we don't realize it. Once we get home, then we realize that great set. Because we're going to go, look, when we leave home, where we go to? Do you go to the jungle? Or do you go to mansions? How can you go to mansion if you don't have the power to control the mansion, energy to control the mansion? You have the energy right now, but you ain't living in a mansion now because the devil ain't going to let you live in a mansion. They don't let you have a gold mine. They'll let you have $1 million shit farm. So now, yes, my worth $1 million. I got to smell shit all day long. Got to pick up shit all day long. Got to shovel shit all day long. But it's worth $1 million. That what you want? I'm a millionaire. That's the problem we have. Okay? So the point is, we leave here. Once we take our home back, the sisters are going to mansions. That means you're qualified for a mansion right now. You're going to mansions, palaces, big plots of land. What do you call it? Well-made lawns. Well, managed lawns, what do they call it? Right? Beautiful transportation, no cars, no that kind of crap. Beautiful weather. Because we're going to Hajj then. The weather will be beautiful. Right now, but before I tell you, when you go to tribulation, that weather's going to be like, it's going to be like you ain't never seen before. Unprecedented. The Quran tell you that. It's going to be like the waves going to be roaring in the air. It's going to be terrible. But the point is, you're going to see it's going to be like have GPS on it. So it's like these devils come attacking at you, going to eat you cannibal like 10,000. All of a sudden, Tom's coming to tear their ass up. You're going to see things like that, brothers and sisters. I told you, you ain't need to take no weapons. It's mental. So now I'm trying to show you your weapons, how these things work. Because you got a pressure differential, and the pressure differential can be off the page once you get in tribulation, because they're low pressure, it's very low, and you're going to be very high because you got the angel, and you're getting strong and strong all the time. And the bodies come together. That means you can almost just think of a tornado that comes up. Hope you understand, bro. Says I'm going to close out in a minute. I just want to cover those things. So I talked about this yesterday. The different concepts right here. Consequence. That's the atmosphere. That's the total atmosphere of everything. That's purpose, It manifests stuff in different ways. Right? See? But that's the atmosphere. That's the whole atmosphere. The most basic atmosphere that's energy. You got the water atmosphere, you got the air atmosphere, and you got the energy atmosphere. Each one's more powerful than the other. Consequence has a GPS on it. Energy quality. You got two different things. We control the quality. Quantity, nobody controls that. It just is. The universe opens and closes. Bad luck, good luck. That's negative energy, positive energy. You take more than you're supposed to have, you create negative energy. That's bad luck. Bad things will happen to you. Right? The quality depends on the situation. Who's controlling the situation? Right? They control the situation, so bad luck could be in your ass being in jail or something because they control it, the quality of energy. You understand? Submission. Right? Submission to the season. Those are the believers. The believers, they give scripture, this is what the season's going to be like. Submit to it. These believers, they don't submit. And so when the spring comes in, if they didn't submit to that new reality, then what happens to the winter? It disappears along with them. You understand? Like the Jinn said, man, I ain't submitting. Yeah, but you supposed to say you submit all towards the will of Allah, but then Allah told you you ain't gonna do it. So how, are you in submission? No, you wasn't. See, and they haven't had victory in 500 years. See, because that's the best for believers. A believer is a person that submits, and they're given the scriptures, the new season is coming in. The new season is coming in, and they submit to it. So they move in and they adjust. Right now, the next season come in, they may believe in this season. But they might not believe the next season. Oh man, I love the spring. I can't let go of the spring. Okay, well then summer's coming. So you just go away with the spring. Personification, very powerful concept. Because the devil's our personification of this situation we're in. So instead of just let it happen, right, we personification. So now, if we had a farm, say for instance, right, and you got to work. You got to work 2 years. You got to work 5 years worth of energy to produce enough for the last 1 year, man. See what I'm saying? Because say, oh, if I work this hard, I can produce enough food to last a year, right? If I work this hard, I produce enough to last a month, but I got to work 12 times hard for a year. Right? But the energy I'm gonna get. Right? In other words, I got to put in, let me put it another way. I got to put in 1,000 calories. In other words, I need 1,000 calories. My family needs 1,000 calories a month, right? But I got to put in 5,000 calories worth of work to do that. Right? That means, yeah, we eat, we're alive, but man, we get aging and everything else. Man, we got all kinds of problems, disease, everything else, because we burn ourselves up. But we're still alive because we need the food. But look what we're doing. We're aging ourselves. That's why we're aging. All that stuff's going to stop. Because once we get out of here, right? I told you we're wilting. We're not aging. Once we get out of here, that's what the crowd tells us. Our aging process reverse. We stop wilting. We start getting stronger again. You see what I'm saying? Because right now, we aging because we got to put so much energy in to get just a little bit of shit they give us. That's going to be reverse. See, so so the point is that we didn't have no farm. So we made somebody that could have a farm. That personification of that problem. That's the devil. Say personification of that problem. Now you got to get them 10. You got to work 100 times hard to get 10. You got to that's 1,000 calories work for them to get 10 calories. They have personification of the time. They have personification of the winter, so to speak. So when winter leaves, they go away too. Because spring comes, they go away too. Now they're going to struggle because they got to stop it, but they can't. See? They can't stop the winter. They can't stop the quantity. They can change the quality, but quantity, they can't stop it. We can't stop the winter. We can't stop the spring from coming in. We can't change the quality. The quantity, we can change the quality. We can't change the quantity. Can't change the seasons. Otherwise, we would never went into energy deprivation. Quality control, right? See? We have quality control. That's the God. We control the quality, but we can't control the quantity. And the energy deprivation, That's they have all this creation, everything out there, energy deprivation. This is more to it's deeper than that, bro. But I'm not gonna, because well, I should say that or not, bro, sisters. People tell me they want to live forever, right? You don't want that. You don't have any idea what that means. I mean, you never stop living. I mean, you go insane. You do everything. Death is one of the most beautiful things that happens in the universe, but you see it the other way around. You say death is the worst thing. No, death is beautiful. In that sense, our nation had to die too. As a nation, we had to die. So that we appreciate the creation all over again. You see, I shouldn't have went there. See? Because we died as a nation. But now we start all over again. See? Some things I shouldn't say. I shouldn't have went there. Okay? Because you have a total idea about life and everything. I mean, ask yourself, what if you couldn't sleep? What if you couldn't? You just had to stay awake all the damn time. In this situation, forget about hereafter right now. You see what I'm saying? You glad to go see. You wake up now, it's a new day. I'm gonna leave that alone. I shouldn't have went there. Okay. See, while we suffering like this, our babies and everything, looks they got a lot of energy. Yeah, be happy. Everybody beating us, working us to death. That's what we need to survive to get to the Holocaust. But now we're going to be the bosses. They're going to be the slaves. So got to get out of here. Here's Haiti. Right? They partying, but boss is gone. They ain't got nothing. See? She got a little bit of food. Everybody's they dancing. She found a little food somewhere. She better watch out. She might be on the table. See? They got rid of masks, but now look at the basket case over there. Now it's time to go home, brothers and sisters. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to get to other stuff. I'll probably get tomorrow. Right? My system, everything holds up. That's what I want to get. I want to get into, right, all how the nations, our enemies, and get more detail about them, what's going on. I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. Hope I cleared up some things. Hope I didn't make anything more confusing. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Suleiman, excuse me. Future news, out.